I'm Kim Carlo. I'm a school counselor here at Boca Raton Community High School, and this is my story. I grew up in New York City. I was born and raised. How we all come together as a community is really important to me. I started out as a teacher, and that really got me thinking about students and their home lives and what made them tick. So my principal had suggested that I get my master's degree in school counseling. Moving to being a school counselor from a teacher was pretty seamless. I really liked finding out more about the students and about things that they were coming to school with. Being a counselor is really exciting to me. I'm one of those people that when I wake up in the morning, I really can't wait to get to work. I love what I do. It's just a great place to be. I'm hoping someday with my students that they look back on their journey through school, and when they're thinking about their tough times, that they think of me and how they were brave enough to share their story. I'm always really grateful when a student opens up to me and tells me what's going on. I'm very lucky to be a part of that process. I remember it was the first week of school. It was a beautiful day. I started out just like any other day, September 11th, 2001. It was a Tuesday. We were just starting the school year and kids were starting to come in the building, and my phone rang, and just like any other day, my mom was there. On 9/11, when my mom called, it really wasn't surprising, but her tone of voice got me. What was really surprising was how upset she was, because at the time I didn't really realize what was happening. She seemed panicked. It was really confusing, where I remember saying, slow down, what is going on? And she just kept saying, put the radio on, turn the TV on, you're not going to believe what's happening. Look out your window, you're not going to believe that a plane hit one of the towers. I completely froze and felt like the world was going to end. I remember my heart racing. I remember getting all cold and running to the window to see the panic and the smoke and everybody screaming around me, because the school I worked at the time was directly across the Hudson River, and I could see the flames and people running down the streets. Because we had a view of the Twin Towers, I immediately was worried about the students in my building. At the time, it was a K-8 building, so we're talking little kids with big imaginations. So I immediately went to the side of the school where all the windows were, and I remember pulling the shades on all the windows because the kids were starting to get word that what was happening, and the teachers were panicked and scared and didn't know what to do, and they also had loved ones in the building, so it was hard for them to keep it together. Working through 9/11 was an absolute crazy day for me. There was no protocol, no accepted, this is what you do when a tragedy happens. My principal and I actually stood on the roof of our building and saw the second plane hit. And it was intense. And I remember this saying from Viktor Frankl that says, an abnormal response to an abnormal situation is normal behavior. That kept me going, and often is my go-to phrase when there's craziness happening. Trauma looks different to different people. For me, with this experience, I still talk to the teachers that were in the building that day. We still call each other on 9/11. We still carry that connection with us. So if you or a friend, a loved one, have a trauma, there really is no definition for it. It's an experience that is unforgettable. Obviously, my trauma is different than perhaps what you're going through or trauma that you've heard of. Whatever your response is, I think you have to accept it, realize it's there, and get help when you need to. For me, knowing that I didn't smile, I didn't laugh, I didn't feel joy for 2 months was a real wake-up call that I needed help. I needed to talk to somebody. So if you're at that point, please make sure that you're talking to somebody, or if you have a friend that's going through something, making sure that you're checking in with them. Because if you keep denying and shoving these feelings down, it can get very much worse. So if you have somebody in your life that you're worried about, never feel afraid to ask them directly. Just say, hey, I noticed that you're not yourself, and if you want to talk, I'm here for you. It's that opening line where the person's finally like, okay, someone's noticing something's wrong, I'm ready to talk. When you get that person in front of you and they're finally able to open up, please remember one key thing. Let them talk. Just be there with them, because sometimes your best intentions could cut them off, and that's certainly not what we want to be doing at this stage. Just let them get their story out. It's incredibly important for the healing process. My name is Kim Carlo. I am one of the amazing school counselors here at Boca High. Thank you for listening to my story, and I look forward to hearing your story.